Well, we're
Hey,
watching.
everybody, welcome back to the Toy Duo Team. Roll the music.
When you have addiction and your shelves are overflowing.
Hold tight.
When you don't know what new is coming, but you fear you might miss out. Just sit right back, just relax and watch and listen. The Toy Duo Team brings you what you need. The toy news you didn't know you needed. Action figures, TV news, all the pop culture you can handle
I love it when a plan comes together. What?
on your shelf.
All right. It's the Toy Duo Team. We're back. We're going to be talking about action figures, movies, TV, whatever comes up in casual conversation. How's everybody doing today?
Well, apparently we're talking about Moob V's today. Mob V's. Your title.
Oh, in the title.
No, in the title, not your
Oh,
Scott's
okay. Well, sometimes these little nubs hit the wrong key. I was thinking about the intro though, and I was like, when the machine gun went off, I was like, that's pretty violent.
I know.
And then I was thinking, like, that big boa, he survived a car crash. He took 3 guys down with 1 punch, and then Mr. T basically just tossed him like 3 feet, and he was out for the count.
Well, he hit a rock and got knocked out.
And he's taking his fish oil pills, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear our jokes last week about that?
Who's the editor?
Who's the editor? There's no editor, Gary, but that's what we need.
Are you volunteering?
I was
Yeah.
going to say, yeah. So,
Gary,
I'm going to
don't
need you to
open your
put the
mouth,
presentation-
Gary.
Please put the presentation together by Friday at 6 p.m. every week and send it on over. All right. Hey, before we get started, I wanted to say thanks to everybody out there in the community who has reached out to me or anything like that. I did put a link to my daughter's little mill train on my community page. We're going through a little bit of a bump in the road of life, whatever. And she's got a little battle she's going to be facing. So I just wanted to say, like, I'm going to try to do a show every Saturday. But I know that what's coming up is going to be taking some time. I'm going to have to, we're going to be doing family stuff a lot. So there might be some Saturdays where maybe we plan to do a show and at the last minute I may have to cancel and stuff like that. But I just wanted to throw that out there and just say thanks to everybody, who's reached out to me and stuff like that.
where again was that link, Vern?
I'm sorry?
Where was that link?
Oh, it's on my community page. I'm not gonna put it here, I don't think.
I just want to make sure if anybody missed it.
Yeah. You can go over there and see more about that. I don't want to go too much into it. But anyways, let's just get started. How you guys doing today?
It's all right. Doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anything going on out of the ordinary? Is it a busy weekend? Anything happening this weekend?
Catching up with all the stuff at Star Wars Celebration
That's
in
right.
Japan.
Star Wars
Yeah.
Celebration. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
our air conditioner broke. I think that's more exciting than to get Star Wars Celebration.
I was like, I can't pay attention to Star Wars Celebration. Gosh darn it, if I had went, I wouldn't be dealing with this right now.
If for some reason a 6-inch vehicle that has a big wingspan and can fit a guy in it that's longer than a 6-inch character, is only $50, where a furry thing that fits a 3 3/4-inch figure has to be $70. I don't understand.
And then Dan made the official Toy Duo Team t-shirt.
Brilliant.
Is that a VHS tape under
It
the
is.
text? Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell at first. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
I got a large. And, I got the shirt a little bit. I'm hoping it shrinks in the wash, but
Yeah,
It
it's just-
almost looks like the silhouette of Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah.
You're close. You know what I wanted to in my mind? I wanted to do an action figure, but nothing that was identifiable, right?
Oh, okay.
And I don't. Am I gonna get in trouble? Am I gonna get in trouble if I say who it is? What it is?
I don't think
It's a
so.
silhouette.
Okay, all right. After Dean and I got for the toy that one time, I'm paranoid. So anyway, I hearkened back to my youth, and I was trying to think. I couldn't remember who it was or what toy line it was, but there was. Do you remember the wrestling figures or WWF wrestling?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the little ones. Yeah.
Rubber? No, they were big. They were like
They were big. They were made of rubber.
Oh.
I've got a Hulk Hogan. Yeah.
You know which ones I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking
They didn't
about.
pose. They were pretty hefty. They were all one solid rubber. Or
You
so
just
it was.
went with them.
Pretty much, yeah, they were made to be beat up.
Yeah.
Like, they were made for little kids banging together. Anywhere there was a Mr. Wonderful that's going like this, so I found one of those.
Nice.
Okay, that's cool. I don't remember those at all. I'm gonna go Google them later.
John, do you remember the line? I looked up the
Not the
picture.
Hulk
but
Hogan still. Yeah. Yeah.
I wish John would just grab his Hulk Hogan and bring it out
Well-
so we can see it.
Actually, wait. I think he's right here.
I thought he was gonna say it's in the other room.
No, come to think of it, he's on the
oh my
shelf.
God, yeah, because some of them.
He was on the shelf next to me because there's a pile right here that has to go up on that thing over there, and he was with them. Yeah.
Show them how stiff those things were.
Yeah. They're
Oh my gosh, you could like
Oh yeah, and it's solid,
it's
isn't
a
it?
solid. Yeah, rubber. It's rubber, so you can kind of bend them a little bit, but they're.
I gotta remember, we're the generation that had the
You just
red
went
balls and
under your
dodgeball.
guys and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, the
I
ones
wonder
that
how
weren't soft.
I wonder how many different toy lines you could call out, and John could just reach without standing up and be like, "Yeah, I got that right here, right here."
It was either extremely coincidental or just.
Well, I think at the very least, anything we talk about, he could probably either get up and go get from somewhere in that place, or the
I want to know what he can get without moving.
Oh, without moving.
Yeah,
Okay.
without
just
moving.
within arm's reach.
How many
without
brands do you have
moving-
within reach?
We have a Rock Lord. There's two of those. We have a Dune figure. We can get Dune.
Ooh, okay.
Aaron, I think you've got another challenge here.
I think
Transformers.
we're gonna be here all day.
There's some Transformers on here. There's Micronauts. I got the little Micronauts car, and there's a Micronaut on there somewhere. And the last thing it would be Silver Hawks.
Silverhawks.
Yeah. There's
All right.
That's what's on this. That's the different brands that are on this little table next to me that have
Side
to go
table.
up on the shelf over there.
Okay.
So-
So we had an earthquake in Southern California
Yeah, I heard about
last
that.
week. It was I think a 6.2 or something like that. I remember I was at work and we felt it. And it was like it was literally like this, right? And then it stopped, like maybe 15 seconds. And then I was like, oh, that's not bad. And then for like another 15 seconds, it was like, oh, that one's stronger. And so, of course, I had to rush home. I had to leave, rush home, and make sure nothing had fallen over. No, I'm just kidding. The only thing that fell over was I don't even know where he went. The short round figure fell over. He's the only thing that fell over. It was kind of crazy. So
It went into that black hole in the floor, probably.
yeah, it went. Oh, here he is. He's under the chair. So I left him on the ground because I wanted to prove that I did not touch the shelves since that earthquake. So good on Hasbro mostly for making figures that can stand up during an earthquake.
Look
Yeah,
at
that
that.
was pretty impressive. I would have.
Yeah,
Yeah, they are earthquake proof.
I would expect the whole thing to just be on the ground.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. I got the TV and movie news you didn't know you needed. We're gonna talk about maybe the Silver Surfer or the Fantastic Four trailer that came out, and then they showed off the Silver Surfer. I did do a video about it because the first thing I started reading was like, oh my gosh, they're gender swapping, da 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 da. I didn't think so because I was already aware that the character is Shala Ball, who's in the comics. And she
Yeah.
wasn't always a herald, right?
No,
John
not
was-
always. She became
been
a
many-
herald, yeah.
Yeah, there are many different heralds.
Yeah,
of
there've been many.
Galactus,
So she
including
was
Frank
introduced-
Castle.
What? Yeah, she was
Right.
what?
I said
Frank
that's right.
Castle.
Yeah.
Oh.
Punisher was a herald.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Cosmic.
No, I didn't
Cosmic
know
Ghost Rider. That's one of the
Yeah.
coolest, most recent kind of. I mean, it's within the past 10 years. Comic line. I would recommend it.
Okay, so she was Silver Surfer's love interest introduced in the first episode, and I guess there was a lot of storylines before she becomes like a herald or a surfer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, technically.
And like at one point, like I seem to remember there was something involving Doctor Doom, where she had like lost her memory after the Mephisto thing, and then Doctor Doom convinced her to go destroy the Fantastic Four. And then she went to go destroy them, but realized, oh, they weren't bad guys, so she helped them. So I thought that the reason why they were using the character was maybe that type of a storyline or whatever. Or maybe it was going to be built in somehow. And that
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see, right? What, like, it could be ham-fisted, right? To just put a different character just to subvert expectations, but I'd like to think that that's not the case, but it's at least peculiar that they didn't go the route with what's his name,
See,
Norrin Rad, right? So
I have a theory. I have a theory as to why
Okay.
they didn't do Norrin Rad, and it involves the entire film. Like I think that this film, because it's set back in the 60s or 70s, whatever it's set in, it's not the MCU Earth that the Avengers and everybody's on. It's a different Earth, but in that universe, in that world, she became the Herald of Galactus first. And they're saving Norrin Rad for the MCU Earth. Norrin Rad, Silver Surfer, the guy, the man, is going to be in the MCU Earth story about Galactus. So Marvel's not going to waste that character on an alternate Earth. They want him to be in the MCU.
when this one's gonna die.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is this one's going to die. Galactus is going. That's all they're going to be able to do, because Galactus is going to eat that Earth.
Right.
And the only way for the Fantastic Four to survive is to escape through the negative zone or some other kind of portal or something that Mr. Fantastic creates, and he jumps. They jump the family through, and the family ends up at the end of the film in the MCU Earth.
Sure.
And they have a warning for the Avengers and everybody else that's established in the MCU that, hey, Galactus is coming. You know what I mean? And then when that Galactus comes, it'll be Norrin Rad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
That's
possible.
what I think is going on.
So I also thought it was interesting, if I look at this picture, right? She's not really silver. I feel like she's more gold.
Chrome.
Bronze, yeah.
Well, I don't know. That's the lighting.
But it could just be the lighting, yeah.
But I think that goes more along with like the character, because I feel like, well, I guess she's silver here, right? This was the Earth X, where they had the two of them on, flying around or whatever. But I just pulled these pictures, and Jonathan saying, yeah, everybody's using the same pictures because that's pretty much it, right? Like, you don't really see her like this. She's usually flying around, and I think like before she was the surfer, she had more of that gold appearance in the comics.
Really?
That's what I didn't really go back and do too much research, but that's what I felt like.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the character, but at least as far as the CGI goes, who knows? Like, just because you see content in a trailer doesn't mean that's the finished product.
Exactly,
right?
That too, yeah.
And the thing is, I am really like, okay, so I did pull this picture because this is pretty much all of the characters doing their superhero thing. I really think the Thing looks really good. I thought the scenes with the Human Torch looked pretty good. I love that flame on sequence. So when you watch the Mr. Fantastic, it looks like he's jumping or something from something that's falling. So I don't know if he's like reaching, but it looked like his foot was pushing off. And I wonder if we're going to see him like use himself like a rubber band, or like grabbing stuff.
They did that in cartoons, remember?
Yeah. So that would be kind of cool if they did that. And then I'm excited to see more of Human Storm. So comparing what I've seen in the trailer versus like say that Captain America Brave New World, I'm really hoping that the effects they actually spend more time doing them.
Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. I'm still excited to see the movie. It looks really good. And I was one thing I was excited to see. I'm not sure anyone here cares, but the TV presenter, like the talk show guy, is Mark Gatiss, who like co-wrote or made the like most recent Sherlock series with Benedict Cumberbatch and Martin Freeman. So if you ever watch that, he was in it as well. He's been in a lot of things, but that actor's really good. So
okay, Gap's like tired of seeing Pedro Pascal and everything.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to message him. I mean, he's okay. I like him, but I mean, let's face it, they're really riding his hype.
Yeah,
everybody, everything that you see,
everything. Yeah,
they're riding his hype. I mean,
and I think this is kind of like the problem with media now, right? Like, the one girl who was up for the Academy Award or whatever for some movie that I didn't even see because I probably didn't see half the Academy Awards films. The news is
like a Russian stripper movie or something.
Yeah, whatever that was. She turned down a role in Star Wars, right? And I'm like, great, because we don't need more people just to like throw into a Star Wars movie because they have a name or something like that, right? Let's get some people who can act and then build a character like they did way back. You know what I mean? We don't need like all the brand names in my mind.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned it, Vern, but there's a Gap, Jonathan, and somebody else said something about the CGI not being too hot, but I don't know. So you said maybe because it's they're still kind of releasing the images just to get it out there, but maybe it needs to be fine tuned.
I think
they usually work on those until the last minute when they need to ship everything to the theaters, right?
Yeah. Well, I remember Jonathan. He's mentioning the Sonic the Hedgehog. You remember when they changed the whole concept?
Well, that was a much bigger. That was a much bigger delay in the production. They basically did a 180 on like the entire character model. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what? I agree with you, Cedar stuff. But what Star Wars does need is more of Jack Black.
I'd be totally down to see more of the what's his name. Captain or Major Bombardier.
He needs an action figure. That's all. You guys are like, whatever, dude.
I get it. Okay. I don't care. I get it.
I'm surprised it get announced this week at Star Wars Celebration.
See, I think Star Wars does need more cameos, but not of named actors. They need cameos of guys like Hammerhead and Snaggletooth. Like where's all the Snaggletooth love?
Like what they were doing.
Snaggletooth in years.
Like what they were doing in that kids show, right? Where you had a bunch of background characters that were like recognizable creatures. I thought so.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, because all the Star Wars fans called for Gosling is now going to be a Jedi. Is this true? Or is my brother? I think he's just messing with us.
Supposedly, isn't he at Celebration right now?
Well, yeah, because he's the lead. He's confirmed as the lead for the Starfighter movie.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So is he a Jedi or just a pilot?
I think he's
probably a pilot. Is my guess.
Maybe they can.
It'd be kind of weird if the lead of a movie called Starfighter wasn't a Starfighter pilot.
Right. Okay. You're right.
Star Wars.
You know what I did?
But I still do think that'll be canceled in 2 weeks.
Well, they're already they're already in pre-production doing like previs stuff right now. Not that they can't cancel it, anything.
Yeah, but they had.
Right, John.
I mean,
you have a point, John. But they made a point of committing to saying like we're starting filming.
They had an entire panel with the guys from Game of Thrones where the audience asked them questions and then they canceled that. You know what I mean?
Well, that was
much out on stage saying, these are your next Star Wars trilogy writers. And they sat down and had a whole panel with them. Yeah. And then canceling that.
So I'm not here making excuses for Lucasfilm, but they made a point of saying this is happening.
Is this
versus-
Star?
yeah.
Is this Starfighter movie kind of like the rebirth of that previous
Yes,
X-Wing
I'm
Rogue
sure it is.
Squadron thing that
The Rangers of the New Republic.
Yeah, or
there's
whatever they
Probably,
Oh no, you're thinking of the Patty Jenkins one, right?
Yes,
Rogue
yeah.
Squadron.
You think it's kind of like a
Possibly.
retooling of that idea? So here's the thing. I think that Gosling plays like a pilot who was really good, but maybe is on the verge of retirement, right? They call him back to train some young hotshot pilots on a special mission where they got to fly really low, go over a mountain, and destroy some sort of a secret.
In
Yeah,
less than 3.5 minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, and they got to do it in under 3
This is a Top Gun reference, no?
yeah, Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
What gave it away, Eric?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! If you're in the San Diego area coming up in May, they're gonna they have the Midway Museum, which is an aircraft carrier, and they do these movies in the park out here where like you can go to different parks and they play a movie on a big screen. They're gonna do it on the Midway. It's gonna be Top Gun Maverick and that Top Gun impersonator that goes around. The guy, if you ever seen him, I had pictures of him at Comic-Con. I actually thought it was Tom Cruise. He's supposedly going to be hosting the event, or he's going to be there and stuff like that to take pictures. And I'm tempted, so tempted, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
You should
Really?
wear a flight suit and stand next to him.
I should. I could be none of the characters in the movie.
Exactly. Make up your own.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that the one thing I do think that happens is even when they cancel an idea for that specific film, I don't think the idea is dead. And so I think that you're like they wanted to do a Boba Fett movie, and that basically became that
It was
movie
the same with
turned
Obi-Wan.
into that movie turned into two different things. It turned into the Mandalorian TV show and then the Book of Boba Fett. And I'm sure some of the concepts and ideas they had for the movie found their way into one of those two shows in different aspects.
Yeah,
Okay.
And this Starfighter one probably very well does have stuff related to that Rogue Squadron in idea or form, or maybe even some of the scenes they had envisioned they'll work into this.
possibly.
So, I don't think things are totally. I don't think things are totally dead, like concept wise, when they cancel a project.
All right.
Yeah.
Those
All right.
people try to fit it in somewhere else, but
And then getting back to the Fantastic Four, the last thing was Galactus went walking through the streets. I posted this picture on Twitter, and not one person commented about the Nike logo. I don't know if they just knew that was me photoshopping the thing, or if they just accepted the brand placement.
yeah, I thought they just accepted the
placement.
brand placement.
Yeah, I think we're at that point now.
Why wouldn't he be wearing Nikes? I don't see the.
Especially in New York or wherever he was. Right?
Yeah,
All right.
you
Anyway,
need that extra protection on your feet when you're stepping on cars and other things.
I mean, he's falling through the atmosphere, landing on Earth. That's a long jump.
Yeah.
You got to get that vertical with the Nike. You got the high top.
All right. Anyways, and then this week, new to streaming is Captain America: Brave New World. You could buy it, and I think on iTunes here, John, it was only $29.99.
Oh, look at that.
And then over on Peacock, it's Wolfman is now available, and that is free if you have your Peacock Plus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have Peacock. No, maybe we
Oh,
don't do
that's
that
too
one.
bad. Anyways, Captain America: Brave New World. I was making a joke before we got on camera, and on TikTok they're playing the trailer or the commercial for you to stream Brave New World, and it says be the first to watch, and then it goes at home. And I was telling them how I wanted to take that and edit it and just have it cut off and say, you guys could have left off at home. Just be the first to watch it. But I'm
So has anybody?
I'm gonna
has
wait.
it-
What?
Sorry. Has anybody seen the Wolfman? Is that kid in the Wolfman? So wouldn't it be Wolf Kid?
I don't think the kid is the Wolfman. I think it's like
Oh,
the other parent or something like that is the Wolfman
Gotcha.
or
Well,
something.
it's like starts off with a backstory, so you see the adult that's in the movie, right, as a kid.
Okay.
Like the first 20 minutes, I think, of the movie or something like that is the guy as a kid. And I don't think they really tell you either. I mean, you kind of kind of get the feeling that they're setting up a backstory, but I don't think they really come right out and say it. It's not like 20 years ago or something like that. I might have been sleeping through it, but talk about a 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon though, because Julia Garner is the wife in Wolfman.
Right.
And
And she's Silver
just
Surfer.
talked about Silver Surfer, and then you have a Captain America picture. Whoa, this is as creepy as John having that figure.
Right. Now I did see the Brave New World, and I liked it, except for some of the CGI was off. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out how big Red Hulk was.
He probably changes size like Thanos did.
Oh, and like the Eric Bana version of Hulk, where he would just get bigger and bigger.
Get bigger when he was more mad.
All right. And then there he is, my brother saying Born Again was good. Did you get yourself caught up, Dan?
I got one more to watch.
All right.
It's not over yet. Isn't there one more before they end it?
It's season.
That's the season finale.
Well, I thought
Dan hasn't seen it yet, so he doesn't know that it went out on a bang.
I'm sorry.
Oh, maybe I haven't seen the
last.
what? I thought the last episode was this week.
Nope.
No.
Andor premieres this week.
All right. So
I might not have seen the last one then either. I don't know.
You'd know if you saw it.
I am spoiling this a little bit for Dan because obviously these two guys end up on the screen together, but I'm not going to tell you whether or not they were just fighting or whether each other or other people. That'll just be up for you to decide. But I thought I'd throw it up there with a picture of my dog who was super interested in whatever happened just before.
I like that your dog watches TV with you.
Just the Marvel stuff.
It was good though. I'm looking forward to the next season. The behind the scene pictures for Daredevil look pretty cool. He's got the black suit with the DD on the chest.
Yes, it looks cool. I saw a little clip too of like in the black suit smashing through like a window.
Oh, I didn't see that. Yeah.
And then all the police guys chasing him out. I just saw like a little clip. It was like
so that was already being filmed before this season even ended.
That's what it looks like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Set pictures leaked, which kind of ruined the cliffhanger from the second to last episode.
All right.
But,
Huh.
All right. And then the other what?
Well, I figured you'd bring up the show. That's why I don't know if you can tell.
Oh, you want to show those
From
off
the
now?
Netflix
No, I didn't want to show them. I wanted to point out that I grabbed my Daredevil figures.
Oh, okay.
The Netflix Marvel Legends.
And Jessica Jones. Look at that.
So the Jessica Jones one is actually kind of an interesting figure because that one's skyrocketed in price for a while.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. And then all of a sudden I started seeing them on Goodwill auctions.
I mean, it goes up and down. You never know.
All right. So then back to Star Wars, right? They did show a trailer for the Mandalorian and Grogu. So you got a snow trooper without his little plastic
fabric
piece.
mask. Yeah.
And
Vinyl.
you saw if you were able to watch the trailer, you actually see a guy putting his on.
Yep.
So
I thought that was so cool. At first I was like, oh my God, there's a different type of trooper we're seeing. And then I saw the guy put on the flappy bit. And I was like, oh, that's the first time we've seen a snow trooper like that.
Yeah.
That was cool.
So now, John, when you see this,
I'm gonna need a brand new helmet.
Yeah, your helmet's not really.
My helmet's not screen accurate anymore.
And then, of course, there's a shot of the Razor Crest. This is going to be Zeb's Razor Crest. Is that what everybody's saying?
Supposedly, yeah.
Oh, okay, so
but it's painted the same. It's got the tan mark.
Similarly, that could be a factory paint job.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
Yeah. Sure.
Right. I
think
muscular kind of like faded.
And is this a muscular gladiator?
It's Jabba's son, Stinky.
Oh wow!
So I thought that was kind of cool because then you also get to see like a hut, like doing more than just kind of slugging around.
The trauma that Stinky went through from a child made him never want to have to be rescued again. So he started pumping iron, and now he's Stinky the Gladiator. Or
there's precedent in the comics. I can't remember the hut name, but in the period between was it Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, like the rest of the Hutt Council gets killed, but like one of the Hutts is super jacked, like he's got like a 10-pack. If you don't read the comics, I'd recommend checking it out. Cool storylines, but yeah, apparently that Hutt is Stinky. What's his name? Rota. I can't remember how it's pronounced, but it's going to be voiced by Jeremy Allen White from Shameless and The Bear.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so I thought there were some really cool scenes in the clip, right? Unfortunately, like it was real low quality and stuff like that, but
it was better than a lot of the potato footage we normally get from Celebration. Yeah. You screen capped these off the link I sent, right?
I did. As soon as I saw the link, I pulled it up, hit screen record on my phone, and I just recorded the trailer. And then I kind of re-edited a little bit because he panned around. So each scene I re-centered it. So I have a version that I kind of stabilized, but I can't put it anywhere because then they just take me down and pay me for it, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, I thought it was kind of cool. So you know how they did that time release of the Sentinel?
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll do a time release for Razor Crest, Zeb's Razor Crest, and maybe it's just not as detailed inside. Yeah, I think that would be like an interesting tale.
Well, I'm interested in the idea that they actually followed through, and there is definitely a snow trooper, because that means that Hot Toys will actually make a new snow trooper. So I will finally be able to have the 3 original trilogy figures.
Yeah, that would be cool. And will the new trooper come with a removable faceplate?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So in a Mandalorian box.
It'll be a Mandalorian box, of course.
So
was my Biker Scouts in the Mandalorian box too because of that.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Doesn't matter.
And then they had a screen. It looks obviously like just taking a picture off the screen. This is a first look at the new Balin skull.
Rory McCann.
Is that the Hound, right? Was he the Hound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool, right? Like, he's not going to be 100% the same, but I mean, like, I think he can bring a lot to the role.
Yeah, he was good in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. So
I'm
sorry.
Sorry, I thought that's who you're talking about, and then when John said Game of Thrones, I'm like, oh, that is him.
All right. So then we get to a little part in our show, which we like to call Bragging Camp. So does anybody have anything that they want to show off this week?
Well,
but John can go.
Luminare Unduli showed up.
Oh, nice.
And there's a video. There's a video online for her.
Okay, you got it up already?
Yep.
Nice.
So she's got lots of cloth, a cloth skirt, and then a cloth cape that goes around the back, and a little cloth like extra hood or something. I don't know, but
yeah.
And but the difference between this and the 3 3/4 is that the 3 3/4 this came off, but it does not come off on the 6-inch. So
does she have what kind of feet does she have? Does she have like the heels?
No,
like some of the other
flat.
No.
They're pretty flat feet, Yeah.
Nice.
Those heel feet stink. That's why.
And she's got like a platform shoe, right? And you can kind of see.
Oh, so kind of a little bit of a heel, but like solid flat.
Yeah, it's flat across the whole foot, not with the
exactly. Yeah.
That's good.
And then video's coming soon, but I've got my first piece of the aerial bots.
Nice.
So
that's a transformer, right?
That is a transformer, yeah.
What gave it away?
I'm just messing with you.
I'm looking forward to see how big this aerial bot ends up being when you build what the frack is his name again? Superion. When you build Superion. And then we have the new Devastator part. Bone
Oh, that looks
Crusher.
cool.
And again, I'm curious of the size once we get them all built.
Can you
'Cause,
take
like-
the head off of that transform? These guys don't transform, or do they transform?
Oh no, they transform. See, they
Oh,
turn
okay.
into a
Okay.
yeah.
There's
And
so
then
many
they
different
also-
types of Transformers
Right.
lines. I don't know the
This-
difference.
This one also turns into an arm for Devastator. So it'll become one of Devastator's arms. So, but
Nice.
the last Devastator was Titan sized, so he's like, 24 inches tall or bigger or more. And but when you take each part, they're about this size. So I'm like, is this still going to be Titan size when you put it together? And does that mean that since this jet is, well, I guess he's not really close. He's in the same size box, but I guess the two figures do look different, a lot different in size, don't they?
Yes. But is one
So-
like more like the body and one's more like an arm?
No, they're both arms. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So that
So he really worked-
so that does mean that maybe Devastator is going to be bigger than Superion, but
So I think, John, that is like, you ever seen this movie Over the Top, where Sylvester Stallone, he
Yeah.
basically only worked out one arm in his car. So when he got out, he was like super jacked on one side and then nothing on the other side.
yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that too, but it was with I saw the same movie just the other day, but it was with Wolverine, and he was fighting robots,
Yeah.
with Anakin, right?
Yeah. That was pretty good too. All right.
It was the same exact movie as Over the Top, except with robots instead of arm wrestling.
Sure. Who wants to go next? Or I'll go.
Go
All
for
right.
it.
All right. So, oh, look, John's back again. This is pretty much what I got this week. It was the Maximum Series Spider-Man with his, what do you call it? Oh, I was going to call it that thing.
I thought it was the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, I was going to call it like, I just can't remember the name of the tiara. But it's pretty decent overall because, I mean, like, really, you can get him pretty tightly bound up. So he's got like some, good flexibility, and he feels like a Legends. It doesn't feel like a figure arts or anything. So it doesn't feel like it's gonna like fall apart, and the plastic feels familiar. It feels just like the rest of your Marvel Legends figures. I did not have any like issues with
That's
mine,
good.
right? With the paint for the most part. We're gonna show some imperfections later when we talk about that, because actually let me just do that. Because let me just pull this up, because Dan said one more this year. So there's one more character coming. But if you're seeing stuff like this Spider-Man where like half his waist is unpainted, or there's missing webbing on his chest, or the eyes are crooked or something like that,
Misaligned or
are you worried? It makes me feel a little bit worried for like the Hulk. And then to see like a third figure, what would be the QC on that? But anyways, it's okay. I don't think I even have like a Spidey like this, because I kept missing those carded ones. So like I might have like an older one, but yeah, it feels kind of like a cross between a Toy Biz and a newer Legends, to be completely honest. Right?
Do you feel for you, is it worth it? I'm still waiting on mine from Pulse.
So I'll say that because I don't have like a classic looking Spider-Man like this, I'll probably keep it in my collection so I can throw it up there. But if I was able to have gotten one of those retro carded Spideys or something like that, then I probably would just be fine with that. You know what I mean? Because
Fair enough.
Would have passed if you had one that you wanted already that was in that stock.
Right. Like I have the cell shaded carded one.
Yeah.
But I don't have like the one that got super expensive because I missed it. But anyways, so that came. Who's next? Eric? Or okay. Sorry, Dan.
Oh, I don't have anything.
This came at like 5 a.m.
Nice.
There it is.
Well, didn't get mine as fast as Yak Face, who got his like
We're
right
probably
after he
up
placed
at
the
2 in the
order
morning.
yesterday. Yeah, so I haven't opened this yet, but I was telling all the guys in our group chat, this is probably the best packaging. I haven't opened this; it's still sealed. I kind of feel guilty and about opening it now, but this is definitely the best packaging for any Black Series figure, even comparing to like the one Java set from SDCC however many years ago. The Heroes of the Heroes of Endor was unique and cool, but this is like it's almost like a hardcover book. It's
what
kind
it
of
reminds
textured
me of, Eric?
too. Yeah.
It reminds me, I mean, I'm just looking at it and I've looked at pictures, but it reminds me of the 00 Snake Eyes, the very first classified when they put it out. Had that nice black box and it came with like some artwork inside on like a nice expensive type paper, like resume type paper. Then the figure was like all decked out and it had all the extras. That's what that kind of reminds me of.
Premium packaging.
Yeah. So, Dan, did you want to show off your figures close up or nothing?
They're not new. I mean, it's the same ones that everybody's probably seen before.
Okay.
Netflix, Marvel Legends.
Okay. So the thing is with that Ronin figure, right? I saw posts of people who were getting it at Celebration, and somebody said, I know it was $100 and I'm part of the problem. And I started thinking, wait a minute, you're at Celebration and it's $100?
Yeah, they charged more at the convention.
That is crazy. And then you got to pack it and bring it home. And then everybody in the States who didn't fly all the way to Japan just went on Amazon and paid $40 less, $30 less.
And it showed up that in the morning for them.
Yeah, that's
so they had it at the same time anyways. But I mean, but that is a Disney thing to do, because when that Bantha comes out and we go to the parks, it will be $100 at the park.
Show us the packaging again. Is it written in Japanese?
Well, you don't see it on this part. You'd have to look at some pictures online with the thing opened up, but basically where you see like legalese and whatnot, it's in Japanese for the one that they're selling in Japan. So that's really the only difference between this and what they're selling there.
Oh, that's definitely worth $30.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's some I don't know how to explain the difference. It is kind of strange, but
at least it's got the cloth wired.
Oh yeah, that's all I wanted. I don't care about having the packaging have Japanese on it. I got the cool packaging. I got the figure with the wired cape, and that's all I really wanted. So
yeah, it was General Kenobi's post. That's right.
Q said, It's a bad way to gouge your fans.
All right. I think that was. I'm trying to look back and see.
He ran out of food at Celebration. That's hilarious.
Okay, so I did want to show one thing off of Instagram. Let me go to Instagram and find it. Okay. Talk amongst yourself while I search Instagram.
Anyone see any of the other content out of Celebration with the Maul series, and where apparently they're going to introduce Talon as Maul's apprentice?
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, and I haven't seen the footage from that. That's been a bit more difficult to find compared to the Mando footage or even the Ahsoka season 2 teaser that they put out.
Okay, so you guys can see that, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, the cantina, yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's kind of crazy because this is like how they, until they did their little thing where they said, "Oh, we found this. This is how you can display it on your shelves." This is obviously how it's intended. And I'm just thinking to myself, maybe John can do that in his living room.
But not only in the living room, but that's it. Yeah.
But it is it's like everything you see from the side is unfinished.
Yeah, totally looks.
So it's kind of, to me, like, you know what I mean? Like, it looks cool, but it's hard for me because it's like you're playing or over it. But
Yeah.
the sides, yeah, I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
Well, that's why the standard one was without the one side, so you don't see the exposed backs. But I have to imagine that some like 3D printers are going to be selling
Put like
Pe-
roof things over it or something.
pieces to cover up the back and make it look more polished.
Yeah.
I mean, you see where those cards, the card back figures are?
Yeah.
I would have expected that to be the way you might just, if you had display that you can like look in there and see the entire cantina because of the way it curves around. But even the back side of that bar there is not complete. You know what I mean? So even looking in that way isn't going to be right. And then then in the display, they put the cards there so you can't look in that way, which I thought was an interesting choice.
Yeah, I think that can you not pull a section out of it?
You can.
Yeah, you could pull one whole wall
It's modular.
off. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And
It's
just have it, but yeah.
Yeah, I just
I
thought
think
it was
the booth
weird
alcoves you can take out as well. You can have the entire like horseshoe piece, but just take out like one of the booth.
Everything but that.
Yeah, I just thought odd choice, and like seeing it like on display is kind of like, well, I'm kind of glad I didn't order that thing. You know, like I don't know where I would put it, how I would put it.
I just said it's likely that someone's going to sell that in the aftermarket. I didn't say Hasbro shouldn't have made it better.
Yeah. No, I mean everything.
Yeah.
I think it looks really cool. It's just like for me, I'm just saying, like I don't know how I would put it anywhere. It just seems difficult. But I'm glad enough people.
Honestly, when I saw those pictures, I crapped my pants a little bit, thinking how and where am I going to put that thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
you need a glass table, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe you should get one of those like jewelry counters.
Yeah.
You know that they sell you put the jewelry in, like you could have that up against the wall and you can have that thing in there, and then you could see it from the top and stuff like that.
There you go.
I think at this point, if I did order it and then saw this and went, holy cow, that's bigger than I thought, it would probably be something that just stays in the box when I received it.
I mean, I knew the dimensions. I measured it out, but there's a difference between like measuring something out in some like theoretical space and then seeing it in like this. This is it was like crap.
Diorama IKEA shelving dimensions in mind.
Right.
Come together for a tiny percentage of fans who have the space for occasional play.
Right.
Exactly,
Or even these Target ones, like these ones right here are similar to the IKEA.
They're almost Billy size. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're from Target. And the reason why I like these is like the shelf's a little bit deeper than the Billy. You know, the Billy
and they're like $12 to $15 cheaper than the Billy.
No, way cheaper. I mean, these were like $40 here, like 40 for one of these. So for the price of two of these, I got like one Billy. Well, I think they lowered the price of the Billy.
I don't know. I thought the last Billy I bought was like $50, $59 maybe.
Yeah, I think they were $69 because I have two over here, and I think those are.
Because I just bought one for the house, and I drove it up there, and I think it was $59.99.
Yeah. All right. You know what I didn't do? I did not go through the chat and say hello to everybody. So let's kind of figure out if I miss anybody. Saying hello to Jonathan Redmond, Cedar Stuff. We got Q in the chat. Mr. B is here. Let's see. Gap is here. Try not to miss anybody. I probably will. Yeah, Jonathan Redmond. I think he was the last one in the chat to chat, so I said him first. G-Force.
Yep.
What?
Galactic Mule.
Yeah, that's my brother, Galactic Mule, saying hi. Let's see, Mr. BQ. That's Ricardo. We got Gary's from Gary's Grills. Dan's in the chat, responding to everybody. Should have been doing this all along. I don't know. It just slipped my mind.
Even with a glass table, if you have a massive display space, it should have
Okay.
size in the room.
David R said hello earlier. Okay. If I missed you, I mean, you're gonna just chat again, and then
on that topic though, Dan, it's funny because I know that there were people that kind of complained about the back, like the backsides of the cantina and making that look more polished, but from what I remember during the campaign, more people were worked up about not having a floor than having the backsides. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, I think people. I mean, because that would have been good if they did the floor, they could have put strategic pegs, right? Like so you could have your guys displayed in the canteen and they wouldn't like necessarily fall over, or maybe have the floor have like holes and then have like the little peg where you could just decide where you wanted to put it.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Or half the peg goes into the foot and then you just stick them in one of the holes or something.
Yeah, floor does seem kind of essential piece for that kind of setup. It's kind of odd that they didn't.
Yeah.
Well,
it looks good. I mean, like a couple of booths I would be in for. So my brother got at Comic-Con a couple of years ago, more than a couple of years ago, got a signing for Jim Lee, and he got some comics. So I guess he finally sold his. He did get he took one of my comics to get signed. It's over here somewhere. I got to dig for it. But it was the first Jim Lee X-Men. And,
wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But it's like falling apart and everything.
Okay.
I think he thought, why do you want this thing signed? Anyways,
Felt bad for him. There you go.
All right, so here's the hot or not section. These are the toys revealed that you did not know you needed.
It's my favorite section. It's the one that costs most money.
Did I fill that out correctly? All right, and on par with McFarlane, they released Superman. They had their whole look up. Did you look up, John? Did you look for the drones?
Yeah, I didn't see anything, but I looked up.
Yeah, me too. And then the next thing you know, they had Superman from the movie coming out in a McFarlane 7-inch action figure with the unarticulated Crypto the dog.
But he has a cape.
He does have a cape, but you know what? I didn't know where you could get this guy. He was not on Amazon because the one on Amazon was that one that does not come with Crypto, which I thought was an interesting choice that they had 2 packs. And I don't know if they were different priced. Did anybody notice?
That's a different suit, isn't it? The arms. Look at them.
It's
it
like
looks a little different, yeah.
Well, it's hard to tell.
Or is it? Yeah, or is it? Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing like a little bit of a different pose. So I mean, did anybody look at the two and was there a price difference?
I didn't notice. I don't know.
Yeah, because it looked like the one from Amazon didn't come with Crypto, but I mean, he's got a whole line of figures from the movie. Does anybody want the Lex Luthor in a purple suit?
Nope.
Tempting,
super tempting,
but no.
Okay.
No, I think my peak would be the 78 Superman.
Okay, let's see. What did I think there are 2 versions of Superman, both sold out super quick. Yeah. I wonder if they just cut their production numbers to sell out, and then pre-order Superman out of the dog because he didn't look good directly from McFarlane. Oh yeah, okay. So I think maybe the dog one was directly from McFarlane.
Well, that's weird.
All right. And then
there's no Lois.
Yeah. What about these ones, John? Were you into the superpowers?
No, I've stopped superpowers a long time ago and got rid of what I had.
But you could have got a Fortress of Solitude.
I know. The problem, see, what really killed me about this is when I opened the Batman and was just so horribly disappointed by the quality of the figure itself that I just decided I don't want anything from this whole line.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I think it's for inbox collectors. I don't actually think that they intend you to open these and mess around with them.
Do you think, like, if people were like, because obviously you can't see the Fortress of Solitude in that box, so do you think there's a market for people who would just pay like $2 for the empty box?
Oh, of course there is, because
Right.
that's what I think is going on. They're selling the artwork as Superpowers artwork, and people want to keep all this stuff in the packaging.
That can't possibly be worth like being in business of like the money it takes to make the box and whatnot. The margins probably aren't even worth selling it at that point.
Gap is saying that pre-orders for the Fortress of Solitude went really fast. So I'm wondering, did Ross buy them all?
Yeah, I mean, I tell you, if I did see this on super discount, I would buy the Fortress of Solitude because I could use it with other figures. You know, I don't have to use it with these. You know what I mean?
Would you pay $40?
No, that's what I mean. If I saw it on clearance or like at Ross for $10 or $12, yeah, I probably will pick it up. You know, but
I almost think that if you got that Fortress of Solitude and you got like the full size Superman from the movie or whatever, you can use the backdrop and just stand the 7-inch figure around the little icicles.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
Just move that chair out. I'm sure that chair's.
I'm sure they're all separate pieces.
You know, yeah.
All right, so Superpower.
Does Superman need a chair? Does he actually get tired?
Well, he did in the trailer. They put him in the chair and exposed him to the sun with those little magnifying glasses.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
If you saw the trailer. So here is, and that's the robot that did it, multiples.
Yeah.
So he's an army builder.
Well, they're numbered though.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he's number 4. Yeah.
Now the interesting thing is when they showed a close-up of the droid's face, it looks like it might light up.
You know what they really should have done though? If all those droids are identical that Superman has, they very well could have just gone, if McFarlane was smart, he could put a sticker sheet inside with a bunch of triangle stickers of 1 through like 8 or 1 through 9 or something.
Or plastic ones with like a peg that you just pop in the different numbers.
Yeah. And then you could just buy as many of those, you know, if you want 8 different robots, you buy 8 figures and just pop 1, 2, 3, 4, you know.
Because I think I heard one of them's voiced by Alan Tudyk and another's voiced by Michael Rooker, maybe. I can't remember who voices
the only other question I have is seeing this monster that is as tall as buildings in the movie, and Superman punches it in the face in that trailer.
But it's 7 inches tall.
Is the toy going to be like, you know, 3 feet tall or something to make it at least something?
I don't know why you're asking questions like that. That's just rude.
Well, I'm not sure those legs. I'm not sure those legs articulate, John. Those look like that. Those look like that. Didn't McFarlane do that King Kong that was kind of like that?
Yeah, could be.
Let me see if there's a picture, because I think some of the pictures they pose them with. They did the you know, their scenics where they're posed with other figures.
I just don't see any like visible joints in the hips or knees.
You're right. It's hard to see if there are. I wonder if they twist or something.
Okay, so this is a McFarlane image basically from Twitter. So Superman's in the foreground, the monster's in the background.
The monster looks in the same position.
Yeah. He might be just a couple of inches bigger, is my guess, right?
That could just be forced perspective. With the
like
camera angle,
like the gorilla or whatever that they had, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right. I mean, they could sell. I don't know if in the package, I didn't see any unpackaged. Maybe they have a tiny Superman, like they did with that Batman and the King Kong.
Yeah. All right. Because I just think back to like the days of when we got Shogun Warriors and the Herculoids, or the Inhumanoids, where they had those giant monsters that came with the little, you know, with the figures.
Right.
So why not do it today? Remember the Kraken was huge compared to the figures.
Yes. Yeah, and that's why it's
Yeah.
like $100 million now.
Today, yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then okay, when I see this Mr. Terrific, right, and the jacket and everything, I don't know why it just tells me Mystery Men. I don't know why I keep thinking
It
Mystery
looks
Men.
like Mystery Man, yeah.
Like, I'm not sure. Is he a real superhero? You know what I mean? Like,
Does look a little artificial, doesn't it?
I mean, I'm like, what's that Captain Amazing? Where's his patches for like Pepsi and NASCAR and stuff like that?
Gap says it's too much like Grease. Yeah.
Grease.
The movie, yeah. Grease is the word. And then this other dude. Who is this other dude?
I can't remember the character's name, but the actor is the one guy from the show Barry, if you remember.
Oh, okay.
the
That's
guy
not the
with
dude from Everybody
alopecia.
Loves Raymond.
Is this
No.
Is it Hush?
No, I was gonna say, is it he
He was in Gotham too, I think.
the Marvel
Anthony
version
Kerrigan, I think is his name.
the Marvel version of this guy is Absorbing Man, but this guy is
Metamorpho.
Metamorpho, that's it, yeah.
I did not know who that was.
Yeah. I did see a screen grab of the character from the film, and I guess he glows a little bit. So I don't know if
I think he can, like his one leg I think is supposed to be ice because he can take on, like, if you can shoot him with ice powers, he can take on ice form. You can, he's kind of like in this figure, they're doing multiple things. So he's got like an ice leg, a wooden leg, a rock arm, and purple glowy meteor asteroid arm or something. You know what I mean?
Well, if you want to make some Barry action figures, you could just, flesh tone that face and put it on.
That's not going to work.
Yeah.
But I really like that guy's character in Barry, if you ever watched that show. NoHo Hank.
I still think the movie might be mostly focused on Superman, but what I think Gunn is doing is, I think he's saying Superman exists in a universe full of superheroes, full of heroes, just like the DC Comics do. So it would be unrealistic in a film for you to never see any other superhero or villains or anything.
Yeah,
so
I
think some of this stuff could be background things that is going on while Superman is doing his Superman stuff.
I also think that it's like possibly that they don't feel like they need to tell the origin story again, which I am 100% for not having to sit through another origin story film.
Yeah,
right?
Me too.
Like I always wanted the Green Lantern, Green Arrow movie, where they're social injustices or whatever. Oh wait, how could it be unrealistic when? Okay,
I love you, Gap. This is
where you just join Green Lantern and Green Arrow already, like they're already
already
they're
together
already doing stuff, and then maybe they just like, oh, do you remember when you got that ring from that alien or whatever?
Yeah, but MCU doesn't put their super. I mean, to your point, I don't disagree, and I think that's probably something that they have failed at. But how isolated are all the MCUs? I mean, you hear them talk about it; they make references to it,
but nobody comes to help.
But there are times where you're like, "Wait a minute, shouldn't you be calling the Avengers right now?"
Yeah,
at least one of them go, "Hey, we should head out there and help out Ant-Man." Or
right. Or, I mean, there was a battle in New York, and they never showed Daredevil or the Punisher, or
they were too busy. Daredevil was taking a year off.
They were. That's right. He was taking a break.
You're right, though. I mean, but they were probably too busy fighting street level stuff.
There were still people robbing banks while this was going on.
They were taking care of all the looters.
And when Thanos snapped his fingers, they were disappeared.
I bet you're right. Yep.
You guys are funny.
All right. And they got the rights.
This is the one who lives.
Oh, yeah.
Walking Dead-ish something figure.
Rick Grimes.
Yeah. Now, it looks cool because, I mean, it's pretty universal, right? You could use this with your G.I. Joes, I guess. I think
Yeah.
it's a little too late for The Walking Dead to be cranking out new figures.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I think they still have shows coming out. I kind of gave up
I
on
know.
them just naturally.
Yeah.
Anybody
few years
watching their
ago.
shows? I would like to know.
Yeah.
Anybody in the chat watching any of the new Walking Dead shows? Let us know, because I'm not.
I want
Eric,
to.
are you?
Either.
I was dedicated to watching all of them at one point, and I just naturally kind of like just gave
Yeah,
up.
just went away. Dan, are you watching any of the new shows?
I'm with Eric, man. Like I hardcore through all the Walking Dead, and then I wanted to stick with it, but they just kept spinning off like the Fear of the Walking Dead which sucked.
Fear was good. I liked Fear.
Some of Fear was good.
You know, it was a good show. I just you know how you get those one shows where you just want to strangle some of the characters.
Yeah,
And that's how I felt. Like you guys are killing me, man. I can't watch you be this stupid sometimes.
and I know John's not watching them.
No,
because
I
they're
actually
super scary.
I watched one episode of Daryl Dixon crash landing in France or something.
Okay, I saw.
Yeah,
some
Yeah,
of
that's
that.
when I kind of like.
And then I
What
was like,
Daryl and
yeah, why is he in France?
He took a rowboat across the ocean.
He did. He literally did. Yeah. And I was like, what is going on?
this Rick
All right.
kind of looks like Ray Stevenson's Punisher.
He
I
does.
know.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
thought
so-
it was a Punisher figure when he first put it up. And then I went,
So-
oh, it's the ones who live.
So Ricardo didn't even make it through the first season, and Gap is saying that he is walking while watching The Dead.
Uh,
All right.
Smokes. That's $120.
Yes, Blue Sasquatch.
See, the-
this is live.
the unfortunate thing for me about Walking Dead, all right, we're joking around, but I thought that was a brilliant show. I absolutely loved it when it first came on.
Yes.
But what really got me was that after you have them go to like 4 or 5 different
Communities?
safe zones, safe communities that end up having someone corrupt at the top who is more dangerous than the zombies, and they have to have a fight, and they're always killing off someone you love in the show, and then the people you expect to die, like Rick and Marshawn and some other people, they keep going, and you're like, wait a minute, why can't we kill one of those guys, not this character, you know?
Right.
And then I always expected them to get to a resolution. I wanted there to be a moment in the show where they go, we figured out what this is, whether it's a virus or whether it's something else or whatever, and how to cure it, and then have a goal that the characters have to get to for how to stop the plague and return to normal society.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it doesn't seem like that's a thing in The Walking Dead. The guy really wants it to be a never-ending story of there's no hope for humanity again. We're never going to get back to civilization. It's always going to be zombies. And
Right.
then I
Yeah,
just go, well, there's no point to me watching the show.
But
Right.
they
No matter
wrote
what.
that possibility in the first season. I mean,
Right.
they literally like set themselves up to make it so that would never happen.
Yeah.
So Jonathan is saying the figure looks good, but Hiya Toys takes forever to release their figures. He's waiting 2 years for his Judge Dredd. Do you know who else takes forever? Because in November of 2023, I ordered a couple of figures from Mythic Legions, and they were supposed to be Q2 2025 after being pushed back a couple of quarters. And now they're still in pre-production according to their website. So who knows when, but they had plenty of time to manufacture a whole new figure and release it in stock on their website this weekend.
Nice.
Can you guys just make the stuff that you took people's money for?
Please.
All right. Anyways, that's my little rant for the day. And here's the Punisher. I was super surprised when they popped up pictures on this.
Yeah.
I think it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered this. Normally, I don't go for the MCU figures, but John Bernthal as the Punisher is just so good.
Yeah.
This is one you got, right, Dan? In behind you?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
It
the
looks
face
a lot
sculpt,
better than that.
yeah, the new face sculpt is just really good compared to this.
It's crazy. Yeah. You know what else I noticed? It was regular price.
Yeah.
How was that because they was it something that they already had the parts for
I think that because what I read is Hasbro and Mattel, what they did was they kind of diversified their manufacturing to absorb and wanted to absorb some of the costs along the way. So, oh, that's cool. So what they did was they have some manufacturing in other countries other than China.
Oh.
And so I'm guessing maybe they're just pivoting some of their other stuff to different manufacturing plants, and that they're going to absorb some of that 10%.
I gotcha. Okay.
I'd be willing to bet that there's another new MCU Frank Castle Punisher later this year for the one shot that they're going to have.
Yeah.
Did you? Okay, so everybody who watched all of Daredevil watched the end credit scene too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Didn't know there was one, but
On the
I'll
last
watch it when
episode, on the last episode, there's the end credit scene.
Okay.
All right.
Kind of funny. Looking.
All right.
That guard was dumb. Like, how dumb do you have to be? Like,
That's dumb.
Okay, this is where this could get crazy, right? So you got this Punisher figure. He should have come with a few more accessories, I think, but luckily his gun comes out of the holster, not like the other Captain America dude, the Walker.
John Walker.
His gun does not come off of his leg, right? So can you imagine if they just gave you a gun in a holster and he couldn't draw it, and he's the Punisher?
There'd be uproar.
Do you remember the dead? I want to say it was the Deadpool 2-pack, maybe. With the Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
Okay.
Deadpool. He came with 2 50 caliber pistols that were glued to the holster. They were actually like fully molded and everything, but for some reason they glued them.
They glued them in.
Yeah, I remember people showing on Instagram, like, doing the boil trick, like heating it up and you could pull them out. They were a little weak, but yeah, they were.
It's like the Return of the Jedi Black Series Boba Fett with the
crazy
clone head underneath, and
they
had it like because they glued it. It was kind of like the helmet became skinny around his cheeks.
Yeah, Vern, you had a video on that, didn't you?
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember any videos that I made.
Well, it was good.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it. All right, and then this is the one that Eric got already in the mail that everybody in Japan.
This is the regular one, right?
No, that's
one that
this.
Eric
that's
got
what,
has the one that Eric got has wire in the cape.
No, this one has wire. Yeah, it's the same one.
If you look at the pictures of other pictures of this, you'll see the cape is formed up and stuff like that. This is just one promo shot.
From what I think I've seen, there's going to be mainline versions of these that are painted and not black.
Yeah, there are going to be painted ones. Yeah.
The cool thing, the coolest thing I to me,
but no wired cape.
Is the sheath for the lightsaber.
Yeah,
it's curved.
Yeah, I was like, man, that is cool. Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure if actually. I wonder if
I don't think the sheath for the lightsaber is curved. I think it's the other one because I think he has another sword, right?
I can't remember. Like,
oh, we'll see when you open it up.
But yeah, usually like in samurai films, there's the like katana, and then there's the like
a short blade. Yeah.
Yeah, short. I can't remember the proper name.
Is it Nadachi or something like that? Nadachi.
The thing is, because this is black and white, it's like a blank canvas. So to improve the value of this, I think I'm going to break out my acrylics later and paint these up.
Just use markers, man. Don't even bother with real paint,
Hey, because I know that will make John happy. All right, and then I saw this picture of an SH Figure Arts Luke on Dagobah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I would like to just have the Yoda so someone could buy this and share.
So it's interesting, though, because you know how Yoda's face, is it really is Yoda's face really as big as Luke's?
No, it's not supposed to
Because
be.
I'm like, this looks like
Yeah.
a Mel Brooks thing.
Yeah, stuffed into a little teddy backpack. Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Luke face kind of looks pudgy too.
Yeah,
It might just be that angle for the
You
picture.
know,
But
I looked closely at it, and you know, it's the standard SH figure arts. It has their own little interpretation of Luke, right? Like he doesn't really look like Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But seriously though, there is a possibility down the road that I might end up getting this and just take the Yoda out and sell the Luke and the stuff.
Yeah.
in fact, that face sculpt probably more resembles me with shaggy hair than it does Mark Hamill.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, it doesn't look good. I agree. Everybody's saying it, right?
Although I don't think any of you guys have seen me without a beard, but
I don't
that's
think I
not
have.
that's not too far away.
Oh, you're gonna be shaving pretty soon?
No.
All right. And then
Yes.
these are all from like the video game. Is that where all these figures are from?
This one's from Jedi Survivor. The character's in Fallen Order, but this is her Survivor look.
Okay, so everything's from Jedi Survivor. Jumpy McClunky saying hello to everybody.
This one, and then the Cal, Turtle, and Scuba Stev, are from Survivor. Yeah.
So these were kind of like a nice surprise to see some new Star Wars. This actually has quite a few accessories for a Star Wars figure. 3.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's nearly 3 cups.
I know.
Right.
And she's a Night Sister. We get Night Sister accessories, something Morgan Elsbeth couldn't get for some reason.
Right. Well, she didn't get any accessories.
Oh, I know.
And they still wanted $10 at Ross. And they're still sitting there. Some of them. All right. How about Chewbacca?
I hope it looks better in person. I know I said this on the chat, but the paint just looks off. I know there are darker and lighter parts of Chewie's fur, but it doesn't look like it blends very well. It's just like goes from dark to light, and there's not
Stripes.
much
There's just
blending.
stripes.
And yeah, I can appreciate that costs money for the paint, and they're like probably cutting corners on this, but so fine if it's okay, maybe if you don't blend the colors for the paint. But the thing that bothers me the most is when I was looking for reference to like the Yavin medal ceremony scene, because that's like a good well lit scene where you see Chewie top to bottom.
Sure.
The lighter fur on the figure looks too bright, and the darker fur looks too dark.
Too dark.
It's like, so they just went in like the opposite sides of the spectrum to have like as much contrast as you could possibly have.
All right. So I totally get you. So it's a couple of things that I liked about this figure was the fact that they gave him a different sort of expression. His mouth's not open, right? Like the original.
Yeah.
And that
deeper cuts in the
and he's not
elbows.
and he's not shiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sure.
I did like that, but I get everything you're saying, and I'm hoping that it's kind of more the lighting.
I hope so. I hope it looks better in person.
Yeah.
But it is. I mean, it's a repack, right? Or did they actually?
No, there's some. I think there's some new sculpts with this. The arm joints, like the elbow joint, looks deeper, so he could bend his elbow more.
Yeah.
The head
that's what
sculpt
you say
looks
about-
different.
The
I'm
strap
not sure about what else.
The strap on the bandolier seems like it's a little bit better. I don't know though.
And
I'll
the gun,
have to
the
break
gun
the
has
whole one out.
the gun has a strap this time, which some of them
It did
didn't.
before.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah, I wasn't sure it was just a repaint or.
My original one doesn't have a strap.
I wonder if
I'm pretty
like
sure it does.
From the
Was
stripe,
that-
I've got them all. I've got like 5 of
I'd
them.
have to go look in my cabinet. Yeah.
you know they have that Return of the Jedi Chewbacca that had the C-3PO on the back. So I wonder if that body was an upgrade, and then I'm wondering if they're using that
Yeah.
body for this one.
I think all the previous releases of Chewie were all the same sculpt. This is the first
Okay.
one that has like new pieces, from what I understand.
Okay.
Well, the head was different between.
Well, the head
Yeah.
the head was different for the Return of the Jedi, where he has like the parted hair,
Yeah.
right?
and
but-
and the Empire one of them had an open mouth, the other Star Wars one didn't, or the other way around. Star Wars
But
had
like-
an open mouth, and Empire didn't.
But like the body was all the same for
Yeah,
all
the
of
body
those.
was the same
Yeah.
for every one of
Okay.
them. Yeah.
I thought
Even the sequel one had, I think, the same body.
Yeah,
I
it was
thought they
all the
didn't-
same.
I thought they didn't close his mouth until they did the solo Star Wars movie one.
The Vandor one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe
Actually,
he didn't
cool
have it.
look.
Yeah, maybe he did even have. Anyways, I mean, Chewie,
Yeah.
we'll see how well he fares at market. And here's Han Solo.
This figure looks so damn good.
It does.
This is probably the best looking Han figure they've made.
So I had a bunch of those original Black Series Han Solos. I still have one sitting over there in my makeshift cantina, and it looks so bad, right? The skin is so pale. The face doesn't look like anybody you've ever seen before. The hair's not really right. I sent one to Sean when we were doing that other stream, the 3-Minute Monkey Blizzard, and I sent him one, and he was like, we were on screen, and he was like, yeah. And then Vern sent me this stuff, and he pulls out the Han Solo. He goes, I don't know who this generic dude is. And, he's like, Sean Solo. I was like, that's Han Solo. And he's like, what? Because the Han Solo he had was the solo Star Wars movie one. And I guess he hadn't actually seen that other Black Series. So I thought it was kind of funny. But, do you think this is the Return of the Jedi look, or is this the New Hope?
Well, that's the pose.
Because this is well, the pose is from Return of the Jedi.
Yes,
but
without a shadow of a doubt. But the pants are from A New Hope. He had the blue pants, with the red stripe down the side.
I wish they would have did the picture of him in his blaster pose, right? Instead. Because save this pose for when you redo the indoor one.
Yeah.
Well, whoever took the pictures probably thinks this is.
Oh, this is actually, you know what? This is from New Hope, right before the Rancor ate the Stormtrooper.
Oh yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
They're never gonna live that down. All right.
Hey, Mr. B. Yeah.
This looks cool.
I ordered Rendar. He's the only one I ordered.
So here's I wish they would have did Dash Rendar with the Luke in disguise instead of the Bosch. Right? I wish they would have put those two together.
Yeah, because then I would have bought the 2-pack and had the Luke as well. You're right.
But
to me, he looks like driving the truck in Big Trouble in Little China.
All except for the metal gear. This guy looks pretty good. I'll probably pick him up.
Those shoulder straps will never not look ridiculous.
Oh, I know. They're so ridiculous.
Yeah, but
I know.
That's
peak
totally
90s.
That's 90s. I have these too.
I actually wanted the articulated gun with the big robot arm that comes over it. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, we're only getting a pistol.
Well, that's because John, then it would have to be a deluxe.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't give. I mean, you're lucky you got a pistol.
We are.
Yeah.
Right, especially with those shoulder pads.
Most overrated character in Star Wars.
Ooh, I wouldn't go that far. Overrated, yes, but I would say there are other ones that probably beat. I have to think.
Snaggletooth. They haven't even made a figure of Snaggletooth. They don't like him so much.
They don't have a Black Series?
No.
Oh. You sure they didn't make it with the best fin gown Leia?
Probably in the same wave, yeah.
All right.
I'd probably say Mara Jade's more overrated, personally.
What the crap?
Here's the
Turgle and Scuba Stev. this is so awesome. I wish they would have picked a slightly different outfit from the game for Cal. I'm
Instead
not
of the
sure
one
who
that
else.
looks like what Han Solo's wearing.
Yeah, I wish they would have like the one look that I always had was like a like the Luke's gold jacket from the end of A New Hope. I had
Right.
like a version of it was kind of like that, but it was like bright purple with silver accents and whatnot. That looked so awesome. But yeah, so if anyone ever plays Survivor, can look at that. But
So
I like they
this.
did the mullet with the handlebar mustache look, and
Oh my gosh, yeah. I was like, when did Cal get to be redneck trailer park?
you could customize and more things in
Do you think there's
Survivor.
some people that live in trailer parks that are like a little offended right now?
Oh, of course, yeah.
But I was gonna call him Ricky Bobby from.
Well,
Talladega.
I mean, that is true. They are sitting around going, finally, we have representation on a video game and action figure.
The
I
mullet's
don't know.
nice.
But,
I don't know if Turtle's mouth articulates, but it looks like at least shoulders, maybe not elbows. You got wrists and then hips.
Yeah, I
and
was going to
ankles.
ask why he's got ankle joints and wrist joints. His arm and legs move, but there's no knee or elbow joints. And he's such a big figure. Why wouldn't he have knee and elbow joints? I don't get it. But I do like him. This
real
is a
funny
situation.
character.
This is a situation where I want just the frog guy and the little dude. And then if I buy this 2-pack, I'm selling Cal Kestis and the droid and all the accessories.
Well, here's the thing: does he have knee joints? Because the way they're doing with the Star Wars figures now is that
They
upper leg
Photoshop.
just covers the lower leg.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So it's possible that there is a knee
Oh.
joint there, and we're just not seeing it in this picture. I'm gonna
Sure.
pull up Hasbro Pulse real quick while that's up there, and then
It's exclusive.
This is awesome though. This is Amazon exclusive.
oh, but
Bender says that this frog guy looks like the manager at his local AutoZone.
Oh,
I didn't
Jesus.
know that the frog
doesn't-
creatures work at AutoZone.
Oh, that's interesting.
okay, Black Series Jedi Survive.
But I think it's cool. They gave this figure all of the different variants for lightsaber hilts that you can have
Yeah,
for the game.
he's
You,
got like
you can have
4 or 5
the
different
double
ones, right?
double bladed, the cross guard, the standard, and then the shorter one. So
Okay,
I know
so-
Bender. I know Bender. I'm just messing with you.
Okay, so
There's no confusion here.
so no knee joints.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
what it
looks
looks
a bit-
like.
yeah.
So it could be that they didn't think that they thought maybe if they try to put joints on the knee, it would just give way too soon because of the weight of the upper part of the figure, and
Maybe.
kind of like how the old IG-88 used to come up, change. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Jedi Survivor. I'm gonna get that just for the mullet.
But yeah, why not?
Good Joe
And-
Dirt.
Then you had some vintage collection
TVC.
stuff.
Yeah.
The vintage collection rocket launcher trooper. Is that his official name? The rocket launcher trooper?
Sure. It
Should
can't
it
be a
be-
stormtrooper commander with rocket launcher.
Right. That's what I was saying. Like stormtrooper and then commander with rocket launcher, right? And smaller
Yeah,
print.
that's
Yeah.
what. Because he's got the red pauldron. That's a stormtrooper commander right there.
Right.
And then we just say with rocket launcher. Yeah.
So would the commander have a rocket launcher, or would he just be ordering his troops with rocket launchers? Would he just be the guy ordering it? Because it seems like now he's tied down to actually not being able to give commands and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? Like,
You're thinking too much into it, but
no, I mean, like really, like he's out there in the field with his troops, but now he's too busy, like having to
Well,
launch the
he
rockets
could
and to
he
be able to
could be
coordinate
he
the
could be
battle.
like he could be like everyone with rocket launchers shoot where my rocket goes. Like
I'm
Yeah,
not entertaining
Jonathan's
this
right.
conversation.
But my K2SO doesn't stand up unless I lean him up against the back of my display.
Mm.
What about okay, so then the red shirt guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
That's,
thought we already had him, but I guess
He's
it's
the
okay.
rifleman, right? No, that's
Cobb Vanth.
Cobb Vanth. Yeah.
Do we have a
I
TV
thought we
show?
had Cobb Vanth twice already in the vintage collection.
There was that
but
deluxe one that
that's
came out
okay.
not that long ago.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
I have him. I got him on clearance. He's somewhere over there.
Right.
Yeah, I would if I found them on clearance, I would buy them, but
All right.
I did not order these. I ordered the Bantha.
I got
but
the Bantha.
that's it.
Now, how close is that to the other Bantha?
What other Bantha?
There was a Bantha that they had before for like the smaller figures.
Back in the 90s?
Not in a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, I don't know. This one supposedly has articulated legs and stuff.
Oh, okay. Is that the difference? The other one didn't?
No, it was just a block.
I'm not sure they should have gone with a look that had all of the fur over the
Yeah,
eyes,
I
though.
was questioning that as well because I feel like
This is
when
more
you
like
see,
Book of Boba Fett and Mando.
I feel like when you see
Bantha.
that sand person running on the thing and he goes whoa and jumps off and lands on the Bantha, that it had more of a mouth underneath. It does look almost the same.
I mean, I was trying to find the difference.
Yeah, I get you, man. It does almost look the same.
Let's see. Hold on. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's a repack.
it very well could be. I mean, I don't know. It looks a lot the same.
Oh, but this one, the old one had a Tusken Raider with a gaffer stick. So.
This one does too, and the cycler rifle.
Oh, so he comes with the rifle. Right.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, like, I didn't see too much about this, so I was wondering how close it was to that old one. Yeah.
The horns do look like they're attached slightly differently in a different angle.
Fanatic 6.
But
welcome to the show, man.
hello.
Thanks for
Welcome.
coming and hanging out.
Welcome.
First time here. Yeah, Crosshair looks great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird though that they're just trickling out.
Yeah.
The rest of the Bad Batch after like the TVC community's just been pissed for a while that Hunter's been the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
All right. I mean, I'm not a vintage collection collector, so, but I imagine that if you are, you're like, I gotta complete the team.
Yeah, the thing with it is I have to go look through my old figures and see if I got Hunter. I feel like I did not. So I didn't
you might
order.
as well just get rid of them all then, because you don't have the full set.
So I did not order this guy yet. But when I hang up some of the ones I recently got, I will look around and see if I have Hunter. Because if I do have Hunter, then I will order this guy.
I'm gonna have some serious FOMO. I didn't get Hunter, or sorry, I didn't get Crosshair, but I also didn't get Hunter. But if they ever do make their ship, the Marauder,
Oh my
I'm
gosh, yeah.
I'm going to be pissed.
Then
at
I would
myself
definitely
for not
want
getting-
them all. You're right. Yeah.
And I'd want this look, not the season 2 and beyond look.
The updated. Yeah, exactly.
The
But
collector.
sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just talking about the Bantha. So he's saying like, in the winters, the Bantha grows its fur longer. So if I wanted a summer Bantha, I would get 2 and then trim the hair.
Sure.
On
okay.
Tatooine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I could
Winter on
like
Tatooine.
enhance the value of that by making a summer version.
Yep.
Okay.
But I was gonna say, I feel like the one he jumped on, you could see more under the jaw and you could see the feet. So this one's hair is just a little too long in some spots, I thought. But
I just saw the comment that you just had. TVC community was pissed.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
But even though I was questionable about the price on this, I did order a Bantha.
How much is the Bantha? I didn't see.
$69.99.
Yeah.
$70.
70.
Well, that is the same as those two that the the unpainted Black Series Ronin.
My problem was that basically at the same time, like what was it, a week ago?
Uh-huh.
They put up the claw with a Cobra Trooper, so you get a 6-inch Trooper and the Cobra Claw, which is like 15 inches long wingspan, and the trooper clips underneath it.
That's landing gears too.
It's so it's longer than a figure. You know, it might be like 8 inches by 15 or something, and so it's bigger than this Bantha. And you get a 6-inch figure with it, and that was only $50. So I'm like, why is a 6-inch vehicle with a 6-inch figure less money than a 3-inch figure and a 3-inch little tiny like Bantha thing
on
with
the
fur
Bantha
on it?
one, the tusks are made out of fake ivory.
Real ivory? Okay. And the saddle is gold plated. I forgot about that.
The saddle is made out of real leather.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't even know why this vintage collection figure is $16.99.
I know, right? Yeah.
He comes with one accessory.
Yeah.
Unless you count the helmet.
My understanding, if you want to be serious about it, my understanding is that despite there being a lot less plastic involved, the tooling expenses is pretty much the same as a Black Series figure.
Yeah,
I agree with you. So
claim it is, yeah.
So when we had Adam on and he was talking about the plates, right? There's like the plates for the molds or whatever, and they're a certain size. I would imagine that you can fit more parts onto one plate for a vintage collection figure than you can for a Black Series. So that's, to me, that is additional cost too, right? So, but yeah, you're right. The design and development and the tooling and everything getting down to it is probably, anyways.
Yeah.
Thanks, Marvel Star Wars fanatic.
But I think what you should do, John, is when you get that like little airplane thing for your G.I. Joe, weigh the plastic.
Yeah, I'll weigh it, and I'll put it right next. We'll get some scales. We'll get the Justice scales, and we'll put the Bantha on one side and the thing on the other. We'll see which one comes out. All right, sounds good.
0 licensing fees for Joe's.
Yeah, looks like it. 0 licensing.
Hey, Rick.
Always need a reminder.
Mm-hmm.
And Marvel Star Wars fanatic number 6. Thanks for liking and subscribing. And you will enjoy every week as we go over a lot of Marvel and Star Wars stuff here on this show.
Yep. And make sure you head on over to some of these other channels, because John's over at Super Awesome Geek Show. You want to subscribe to his channel. Dan's got Dandy 1981. Eric is
pump out content constantly.
He's got so much content. This channel, it's crazy.
No, Eric doesn't have a channel.
He has a channel. He just has no videos on it.
Is that what it is? Okay.
No, they're just all private.
Gotta subscribe.
All right. And then Moff Gideon, and then you got a vintage collection night
at the same time. What?
Yeah, amazing,
that's crazy talk.
But it looks like she only comes with 2. No, she might have the same
accessory. It's the same accessories.
So does the knife detach from the spear on this one as well?
I think it's the same
setup. Same exact setup.
I think the hilt just telescopes into like a big pole. I think.
Right.
What? Really? Wow, that's
in the game.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
She's got a sheath on her like back.
I thought it was it's interesting that the Moff Gideon, I love that outfit so much. I really hope that we see another clone in that outfit. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want it's kind of like the Quill, right? Like it's cool to have him, but knowing that he's never going to be in another thing kind of sucks.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that was Gideon who died. I think it was a clone of him.
Well,
yeah, we'll have to see.
Send in the clowns.
Send in the clowns. All right.
I know, right?
Yeah. I think that's it.
That's what I'm saying is crazy about it. We got a vintage collection Marin. Yeah.
We're still waiting for Black Series Carson Teva.
Yes. I can't wait for the Black Series Teva. You know what? I'm probably going to get one of those vintage collections just to have one in my collection.
Yeah. That's a good call.
Yeah. I'll probably do it. I'm trying to think.
I'm hoping maybe like for May 4th. So we already got all the Star Wars Celebration reveals. but May 4th is right around the corner. They're going to have more.
Oh yeah, they
You think
will.
so? You think they're going to have more stuff out there?
They'll have more reveals. Yeah.
100%.
What do you think? Okay, what would you think is coming?
I'd have to go back and look at some of the stuff that's leaked. I know that there's more 20th anniversary Revenge of the Sith stuff for Walmart.
Okay.
There might be more mainline stuff for Revenge of the Sith as well. A new Anakin and Obi-Wan. Maybe that's in the 20th anniversary Walmart packaging still. But what else has there? The leaks have kind of dried up a little bit. But
have they announced their Comic-Con exclusive for Star Wars?
No, right?
Yeah. So
that was just, who did they do? They did something really early.
They did the Slither guys.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Old Slither. But I'm wondering, what do you guys think might be? Yeah,
yes.
Sure. And those for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because you saw some of those pictured at Celebration, like a new ISB trooper with some light armor, and you saw a new Director Krennic with a soft goods cape and a like ceremonial sash.
Right.
Oh, what if we get two tubes in a Black Series figure and a TDC figure?
Well, there are two of them. Remember, there's
I know,
Benthic and Edrio.
Yeah, they're brothers, right?
Yeah.
So they could easily do a 2-pack if they wouldn't just get one mold.
Technically, I think they're called egg mates for that species, not
for that
brothers.
Species? Yeah.
But I can't believe I remember that little bit of weird detail. But
hey, it's cool. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
I can. What do you? Okay, so guesses on a Comic-Con exclusive for Star Wars.
I would like that 2 tubes guy in especially in TVC, but I would also like a Black Series of them. I would buy both.
Comic-Con.
I could see the
How about
Ripped
this
Jabba?
guy right down here? Yeah, Ripped Jabba.
It's too soon for that because
I know. And you know what? Maybe they keep with the Revenge, right? Sith.
Yeah, maybe because some of those Andor figures are going to be Target exclusives, and the Revenge of the Sith ones are like Walmart exclusives. So probably not either of those. I bet.
You think they do a
Hard to
vehicle?
say.
You think they try to do another vehicle?
Maybe a Bark Speeder.
Okay.
With Captain
That would be
Neo,
cool.
with Captain Neo, maybe.
Would it be something if they said the Comic-Con exclusive for Star Wars is going to be the Black Series Carson Teva with X-Wing? Can you imagine?
They're not going to do Black Series X-Wing.
You don't know.
No.
Or maybe that's the
they've come out and said
HasLab.
No, they've said that they like I can't remember where I saw it, but the one designer Eric was on someone else's YouTube channel for an interview, and they said, yeah, we made a prototype of the Black Series X-Wing, and it's in the Hasbro office, and it will never get made because it's too big.
No, that's too bad. What do you think about that?
That hurts.
Yeah. Well, when they move from Rhode Island to Chicagoland, right? Is that where they're going? They went and looked for property out in Chicago, I think. Hasbro.
Did they? Did they?
I think that was they went to some other state where they were being offered like some incentives to move.
Really?
Yeah.
When did this news come out? I haven't heard anything about that.
Like 6 months ago or something like that. They were thinking about when they were downsizing or whatever, and they were talking about moving their headquarters. So I'm going to get on the moving team.
Oh yeah,
I'm going to move that one office where the X-Wing is.
See, I would think more creatively than making it as like, okay, a Black Series X-Wing might be not feasible as a singular product. Let's like what I mean is that you have one box with a Black Series X-Wing in it. But if you think about it, when you would receive that toy, what it would be is the wings would be off of it. It would have a fuselage. It would have a fuselage.
You'd have to assemble it, right?
Yeah, and then you'd have to put it together. So since you have to do that anyways, what I would end up doing as a toy designer for Hasbro is I would actually break the fuselage in two right where the cockpit is. So say like the fat end of the ship in the back like has a section that sort of goes over, it extends over, and then the front clips into it, so that when you look at it from the side, it's seamless. There's no line because the part is going like over it a little bit. You know what I mean?
I'm not even sure that's the concern. It's just too big to display.
Well,
okay.
You let the fans worry about that,
cantina.
like the guys with the cantina are. But what I'm saying is then what you do is you create one box that has the front fuselage part on it, and a box that has the back fuselage part,
show off,
and then like 4 wings. And when you stack all 6 boxes together, one side of the artwork is like a puzzle that makes a giant X-Wing box when you stack all 6. And the other side of the box is the artwork for each individual part, and each part comes with a 6-inch figure. So basically you're buying a 6-inch figure and part of the X-Wing in a box, and you're buying 6 different parts. And if you collect the whole set, you've got 6 figures.
They're never going to sell individual parts for an X-Wing. An X-Wing isn't like a Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure.
You and I would buy it. I guarantee people would buy it. And the problem is that these people who work for these companies, they don't think outside the box. They think that they got to sell something. Like back in the day, I mean, in the 2000s, we got an entire cantina sold over like 12 different figures. Do you know what I mean?
John, I'm just laughing because people are like, I can see John because the chat pops up and you're sitting so low on your screen. It kind of covers.
The big chat just...
Oh my gosh. All right.
But I'm telling you, like most of the people would buy it. They would.
Yeah, I don't know. In terms of future exclusives there's San Diego Comic-Con, but then there's also PulseCon.
Yeah, I just think that like whatever they have for Comic-Con is already in the works. It's already probably been
for
produced.
sure.
It's probably already on a boat coming over here, or is already here. And I'm just imagining like what it could be, right? Like so
it could be TVC too, right? It might not even be Black Series.
Could be, but usually they do one of each. Right? So Duel of Fate packaging or something like that. Did they announce something like that before?
That's what someone else said. Palpatine and Windu in a 2-pack, and I think that sounds like a Comic-Con exclusive. You know?
Okay, yeah, that could work.
That fight scene, the fight scene they had in the office.
Yeah, I don't know about that because the thing is, those tariffs right now are against China mostly. The rest of the world is like at 10%. Right, so they've moved their manufacturing to Vietnam or Mexico or wherever they got their factories and stuff. So it's possible that they could still do it. Yeah, if they listen to fans, they'd be more. If they actually watched a couple of Star Wars movies, that might help.
Okay.
I don't know how that works, but maybe. Right.
We'll see.
Anyways, so there is a new theme park opening at Universal, right?
Yep, Epic Universe.
Epic Universe, and they have exclusive Dark Universe Monsters figures.
Oh, nice! Your brother went and checked it out, or
no? It's not open yet. Whatever, but he sent me a link, and there was a 2-pack for the Frankenstein and the new female Dr. Frankenstein or whatever 2-pack.
Right.
That was available on their Universal's product line. So
So is Dark Universe not dead then, like we thought?
I don't know. It doesn't look like that.
What do you mean dead? Like it? The
You mean like Frankenstein's dead and anybody
No,
Dracula?
no.
died?
I thought that the Dracula
Wolfman
movie they already had and
dead.
the
No.
other film were
I think they're going to
were
reboot that thing. I think
considered
that's
failures, so that this whole thing, this
This
connected
is on
universe.
the theme park stuff is not related to anything
Yeah.
in the movies.
so that
You could go on YouTube and watch. You could go on YouTube and watch the ride.
The problem with that
From the
Tom
previous-
Cruise mummy movie was that he wasn't like an old retired mummy hunter who was called in to train some young mummy. I was gonna do it again, but I couldn't. I couldn't do the Top Gun.
See, I guess I'm one of the 5 people on Earth that like the Mummy movie, but all right, whatever.
I bought it. I'm with you. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I like the Top Gun Maverick. Is that what you guys are talking about? That's why I keep
the Mummy, I
talking.
liked it.
Oh, the Tom Cruise mummy movie.
Yeah, with the crazy girl that was kissing everybody,
Yeah, I was-
their life out, and then what's his butt? That was it. The penguin who was
You know what the problem?
Jekyll and Hyde or something.
You know what the problem was? I think right around that time is when like Tom Cruise was getting some negative press. He was like still on his like, you know what I mean? Still trying to come. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
wasn't that around the same time? I thought it was. I was past that.
I was past it, but I don't think he was like kind of over it. I think like what would happen is like maybe if that were to come out today because of the Top Gun Maverick and because of the other stuff, it probably would have done way better, right? So maybe they should re-release it in theaters.
You gave Mark his phone number? Yeah, that's great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sweet.
That is awesome. All right. Anybody else got anything before we sign off for another Saturday?
No, I'm glad I made it all the way through. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
one thing, like I know I'm probably alone or mostly alone on this, but I'm not sure if anyone's watched any of the Star Wars Celebration live stream on YouTube. But
No.
Over last night, for the Saturday portion, they had an interview with Manny Jacinto, who played Chimere, the Stranger, and the Acolyte.
Uh-huh.
That was so depressing. I
Was
just, it was, you could tell, like, he was so like disheartened through that whole interview. You could tell it was just like, say what you will about like other actors and the showrunner, writers, or whatever about that series and other criticisms, but I think we deserve to see what happens with that character Chimere.
Yes,
and
I
play
agree.
this.
Yeah.
That was the part I wanted to know about.
I
Was
know, right? Like,
who is he? What happens to him? What
Well-
did he do?
well, you know,
And
maybe Acolyte's over, but maybe they do like they
Yeah.
could do like some sort of a spin-off. And I think what could be a really good move for like Disney and Star Wars is instead of having to do like a series, why like that Werewolf by Night was like a one-shot movie.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
can't they take like something like that guy's story or something like that and make just like a movie to come out on Disney Plus, let's say. It doesn't have
It's
to be
like
a theater.
one-shot thing,
My-
however long it needs to be. Yeah.
My recommendation would be, I'm not sure. I think my sump pump just went off. Sorry.
That's okay.
I think my
Yeah.
power flashed.
Because
Yeah.
House is flooding.
your
It's
basement's
that-
flooding.
Yeah,
I'll be right back. Let me finish this thought real quick. So my recommendation would be, okay, they did the Acolyte. I would like them to do The Apprentice and focus on Chimere and Plagueis, and then follow up
Yeah.
with The Master and be the Master. The third season focus on Plagueis and then Palpatine.
Right.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. All right.
Sorry.
Sounds
Sorry
like
for the
everything-
beeping.
That's okay. Sounds like
No, you
everything
can go
was
figure
resolved.
out what
Yeah,
it was if you
man,
need to.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
good luck.
Okay. Well, by the time he's back, we'll be out of here. Do you guys have anything before we head
No,
out?
I'm just gonna do the Transformer video this week, and there's other stuff I'll probably work
All
on.
right.
But yeah.
No
All right.
cooking?
What about you, Dan?
Nope.
All right.
You know the problem with that cooking channel? I have to buy ingredients. I'm actually thinking. No, I actually thought of something else to do on the cooking channel. Have the cooking videos when I have the ingredients and the wherewithal to cook something and film it. But I was actually thinking the other day of like, well, my dad and I got into this discussion when we were out somewhere, and we were like, how the heck did someone come up with bread? Like you can't.
Yeah,
like
you
if
could
you
do
think,
a whole history of food.
yeah,
while you're
exactly.
making the food.
Well, not while I'm making the food. I'm just
No,
gonna
yeah,
do
you should
it.
be
I'm not
talking
gonna
about
make
like the
bread
history of
while
it,
I make.
like a real cooking show.
No.
Anyways, okay. That's it. We're done.
Yeah, we're done. All right.
Hey, anyways, just real quick before we head out, I want to say thanks to everybody again for reaching out to me and stuff like that. If you need more information about that, you can go look at my community page. But I really appreciate everybody who's reached out. And anyways, we'll try to be back next weekend, and we'll see you next time on the Toy Duo team.
Stay awesome, everybody.
Cheers.
When you are addiction and your shelves are overflowing. Hold tight. When you don't know what new is coming, but you fear you might miss out. Just sit right back. Just relax and watch and listen. The Toy Duo team brings you what you need. The toy news you didn't know you needed. Action figures, TV news, all the pop culture you can handle.
I love it when